in my own mind, there's no doubt that he's being wrongfully detained by Russia, which is exactly what I said to Foreign Minister Lavrov when I spoke to him over the weekend, and insisted that Evan be released immediately.
That, of course, is Secretary of State Antony Blinken with a clear message to Russia today after the arrest of American journalist Evan Gershkovich. He was detained and accused of espionage last week while on assignment for the Wall Street Journal. The Journal vehemently denies the espionage charges against him. Back with us tonight to discuss, MSNBC international affairs analyst Michael McFaul, formerly the U.S. ambassador to Russia. He wrote From Cold War to Hot Peace about his time in Putin's Russia. Michael, what is Russia doing here?
Oh, it's just so tragic because Evan is such a great reporter. I don't know him personally, but I've been reading him for a long time. He just recently, his last big article was about how sanctions are hurting the Russian economy. And that's exactly the kind of reporting that Vladimir Putin doesn't want out of Russia. So I don't know if that's why he got arrested. I don't know if they're just picking him up because they want to trade for other spies, real spies that have been picked up around the world recently. But it's a really horrible situation that does not have an easy answer.
So how do we get this man home?
Honestly, I don't know. It's not going to happen through the rule of law. I think everybody needs to understand there is no rule of law in Russia. You have no rights inside that country today. That wasn't true when I was ambassador, but it is true today. And so I think it will be through some kind of swap, as we talked before. Now, you know, they already have other Americans. They have Paul Whelan, they have Mark Fogel. It's not clear to me that if they were interested in swaps that they needed to arrest another American. But tragically, I think that's the only way that he'll get out.
Where do we stand on those other Americans who are detained, right? We can say all day long that Blinken is calling for the immediate release, but you just said it. Russia is not a land of laws.
No, and remember when the last swap they did, Victor Bout for Brittany Griner, a swap that was a hard call for the Biden administration, but I supported it. I think everybody was better off for it. But then those other two Americans have remained in captivity. They've been sitting in jail ever since. Evan, of course, is creating more news attention. And let's be clear, he was doing his job. There's no evidence whatsoever that he wasn't doing anything than journalism, which is his job, accredited, by the way, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So you would think that that would give him some cover. And maybe, hopefully, this will bring greater attention that all of them can be released. But we should be sober-minded here. Vladimir Putin doesn't play by normal rules, and arresting journalists in your country is violating yet another norm that many autocracies, even Stalin, Soviet Union, didn't do these kinds of things.
It makes you wonder if Putin is particularly incensed right now, because on top of all of this, Finland just joined NATO, right, in the middle of a land war in Europe. How do you think Vladimir Putin has taken that?
Well, first, I want to say how I take it. I think it's a fantastic victory. Finland is a real asset for the NATO alliance. We're all better off by having Finland in the alliance. Number two, remember the debate we had about a year ago about why Putin was invading Ukraine. There was an argument out there that he was doing it to try to stop NATO expansion. Clearly, NATO has expanded as a result of his war. And, you know, there's no plans to invade Finland. So that suggests that that theory about what Putin was up to, I think, was incorrect. But there's no doubt about it. This is not in Russia's national security interests. Just like, in my view, the invasion of Ukraine doesn't serve any security purpose for Russians. And this is another setback for national security under Vladimir Putin.
Michael McFaul, every time you join us, you make us smarter and hopefully a little bit safer. Thank you for being here tonight.